Welcome to all of you Shiksha 360. And in this session, basically, we will discuss some miscellaneous points, or we can say that some important points from different modules of the BFM. Clear? So first of all, we will discuss first of all regarding the Incoterms. Clear? First of all, we have discussed regarding the Incoterms. Clear? As many students basically have doubt in that. So we will take a quick revision on the Incoterms. Incoterms. That is international commercial. Clear? That is international commercial terminology. Clear? So first one basically stands for EXW. Clear? First one basically stands for EXW. So what is the meaning of that? Clear? What is the meaning of EXW? Basically that stands for X works. That stands for basically X works. Clear? So what is the meaning of X works here? Clear? So what is the meaning of X works here? Like we can say that under that basically seller delivers. Clear? Basically under that basically seller delivers basically when it places. Clear? Basically when it places the goods. Seller delivers basically when it places the goods at the disposal of the buyer. Clear? Basically when it sells the goods basically at the disposal of the buyer, at the disposal of the buyer at the seller premises, basically either at the disposal of the buyer basically for sending the goods to the disposal, either at the seller premises or at another named place. Clear? Or at another named place. Clear? Or at another named place. Example, works, factory, or warehouse. Clear? Example, works, factory, or clear. So that is the X works. Clear? Basically X works. Clear? Next one here is just you have to remember that FCA. FCA. Clear? So what is the meaning of FCA? Basically free carrier. Clear? Please remember and hope all of you are basically understand basically what is inside that. Clear? Free carrier. Third one here is to basically CPT. CPT. Clear? So what is the full form of CPT? I will tell here what is the meaning. In the meanwhile, you can tell what is the full form of that. Clear? CPT basically means that the seller, CPT basically means that the seller delivers the goods. Clear? That the seller deliver the goods to the carrier. Clear? That the seller basically delivers the goods to the carrier or another person. Clear? Or another person nominated by the seller. Clear? Or another person basically nominated by the seller at an agreed place. Clear? At an agreed place. Clear? CPT, what is the full form of CPT? That is carriage paid to. Clear? That is carriage paid to. Clear? Please remember these things. You will not, because sometimes basically what will happen, they will ask case study on all these terms. Clear? On all these terms. Clear? That's why I'm discussing especially. Please remember. Clear? Please remember, because in the examination out of the 100 questions, 40 plus questions basically you will find directly straightforward from the book. Clear? Just you have to memorize that. Clear? Other students are, other questions are also from the same concept. Clear? But you have to think over that. Clear? We will expect that if they ask question on the Incoterm, that is not that much typical. Clear? So now move to the question number 4. That is CIP. Clear? That is basically CIP. CIP basically stands for CIP. That is carriage and insurance paid to. Clear? Carriage and insurance paid to. That is basically CIP. Clear? Fifth one is DAT. Fifth one is basically DAT. That is basically delivered at terminal. DAP basically delivered at terminal. Clear? DAT basically stands for delivered at terminal. Next one is DAT. Next one is DAP. DAT basically T for terminal, P for place. Delivered at place. Clear? Delivered at place. Clear? DAT basically stands for delivered at terminal. DAP basically stands for delivered at a place. Next one here is to be DDP. Clear? DDP. That is basically stands for delivered duty paid. Clear? Delivered duty paid. Clear? DDP is basically stands for delivered duty paid. Clear? DDP basically stands for delivered duty paid. Clear? Now very important question. Now very important question. There are some Incoterms. Clear? Basically there are some Incoterms that is related to the sea or inland waterway transport. Clear? That is Incoterms that are specially related to the sea and inland water way transport. Clear? Related to sea and inland waterway transport. Related to sea and inland waterway transport. Clear? So what are these Incoterms? First one is the FAS. Second one here is to be the FOB. Third one here is to the CFR. Fourth one here is to the CIF. Clear? Fourth one here is to the CIF. Clear? So now let's discuss one by one regarding all these Incoterms. Clear? Regarding all these Incoterms, basically we have to start one by one. FAS basically stands for free alongside ship. Clear? FAS basically stands for free alongside ship. FOB basically stands for free on board. Free on board. Third one, CFR basically stands for cost and freight. CIF basically stands for cost, insurance, and freight. So carriage, insurance, freight. I think basically it is cost, insurance, and freight. Clear? According to me, basically it is cost, insurance, and freight. So you will check once again if sometimes basically I am also wrong. Clear? So please correct me if I at any place I am wrong. Clear? FAS basically stands for free alongside ship. FOB basically stands for free on board. CFR basically cost and freight. CIF basically cost, insurance, and freight. Clear? CIF basically stands for cost, insurance, and freight. Clear? Now next thing which we have to discuss here is that is some other important terms. First one is advising bank. So you can write side by side basically what is that. First of all, I will write all the terms. Second one is applicant. Third one here is to be beneficiary. Fourth one here is to be confirmation. Fifth one here is to be conforming bank. Sixth one here is to be issuing bank. Seventh one here is to be negotiation. Okay, so now let's discuss one by one regarding all these terms. Advising bank, basically what is that? Basically the bank that advises the credit. Clear? The bank that advises the credit. Bank that advises the credit basically at the request of issuing bank. Clear? Bank that advises the credit basically at the request of issuing bank. Clear? At the request of issuing bank. Clear? Second one is applicant. Clear? Second one here is to be applicant. Clear? So basically who is the applicant? Basically the party on whose request the credit is issued. Clear? The credit is issued. Clear? The party on whose request the credit is issued is to be the applicant. Clear? Next one is the beneficiary. Clear? Next one is the beneficiary. Clear? Beneficiary basically it is that party in whose favor a credit is issued. Clear? In whose favor a credit is issued, that is basically beneficiary. Clear? Beneficiary basically is in whose favor a credit is to be issued, that is basically known as the beneficiary. Clear? Next one is the confirmation. Confirmation basically it is a definite undertaking of the conforming bank in addition to the issuing bank to honor or negotiate a complying presentation. Clear? In some cases, basically like the beneficiary wants any confirmation from any other bank, that is in case the issuing bank is not able to pay, so basically another bank can pay, that is basically the bank basically which gives the confirmation. Clear? The bank basically which gives the confirmation, it is to be known as the confirmation bank or the conforming bank. Clear? That is basically known as the confirmation bank or the conforming bank. That is basically confirmation. Clear? And the conforming bank basically that the bank which gives the confirmation, that is known as the conforming bank. Clear? That is basically known as the conforming bank. Clear? Issuing bank. Issuing bank basically it is that bank basically that issues a credit. Clear? Basically that issues a credit on the request of the applicant. Clear? That issues a credit basically on the request of the applicant, that is basically known as the issuing bank. Clear? That is basically known as the issuing bank. Now next one is the negotiation. Clear? Negotiation, that is basically in another country. Clear? We can say that the purchase by the nominated bank of drafts and other documents basically under a complying presentation. Clear? By advancing or agree to advance funds to the beneficiary. Clear? Basically negotiation basically to give funds to the beneficiary. Clear? On or before the banking day on which the reimbursement is done is due to the nominated bank. Clear? Basically that is negotiation. Negotiation along with that there is one nominated bank. Clear? Basically they will give the money. Clear? This bank is to be assigned by the issuing bank, that is in the beneficiary country, that they will pay you the money. Clear? That is they will pay you the money, and after that basically we will pay the money to that bank. Clear? Basically we will pay the money to that bank. That is basically known as the negotiated bank. Sorry, nominated bank. Clear? That is basically to be known as the nominated bank. Clear? That is basically we have nominated a specific bank. Clear? For that purpose. Clear? For that purpose. Clear? So basically these are the different terminologies. Clear? Basically these are the different terminologies which we will use here. Clear? Basically these are the different terminology basically which we will use here. Clear? Now next term. Clear? Now next term basically just we are discussing yesterday some of the important terms regarding the module C. So now let's discuss some another terms which we are not able to cover yesterday. So first one basically we have to cover the G securities. That is basically also known as the government securities. Clear? That is to be also known as the government securities. Clear? So basically it is issued by the, first of all basically it is a tradable instrument. Clear? It is a tradable instrument issued by the central government. Clear? Issued by the or the state government. Clear? Or the state government. Clear? Issued by the central or state government. Clear? Basically it is acknowledges, but what it acknowledges, like some of writing the public debt officer, basically what government securities acknowledges. Clear? Basically it acknowledges the government's debt obligation. Clear? It acknowledges the basically government's debt obligation. Clear? Basically it acknowledges the government debt obligation. Third one here is to basically these government securities are basically short term. Clear? Basically these government securities are basically short term securities. Clear? Basically short term securities, and their tenure is basically less than 1 year. Clear? Basically less than 1 year. Basically there is no risk of default. Clear? In the government securities basically there is no risk of default. That's why basically these securities is also known as risk free gilt edged securities. Clear? That's why basically these securities basically are known as risk free gilt edged securities. Clear? Risk free gilt edged securities. Clear? So basically these are the some of the important points regarding the government securities. Clear? Basically these are some of the important points regarding the government securities. Clear? Now basically we have to discuss some another important points First point which we have to discuss here, that is DVP. DVP, clear? DVP basically stands for delivery versus payment settlement. Clear? Delivery versus payment settlement. Clear? That is basically known as DVP. Clear? Delivery versus payment settlement. That is basically known as the DVP. Clear? Basically, what is the meaning of that? Clear? This type of point, DVP, is very, very important for the examination point of view. So DVP basically stands for, basically it is the mode of settlement. Clear? Basically it is the mode of settlement. Clear? Basically it is the mode of the settlement of what? Basically of securities. Clear? Basically it is the mode of settlement of securities wherein the transfer of securities. Clear? Basically it is the mode of settlement of securities. Clear? Please remember this one. Wherein the transfer of securities. Clear? Basically wherein the transfer of securities and funds. Clear? Basically wherein the transfer of securities and funds happen simultaneously. Basically wherein the transfer of securities and funds happen simultaneously. Clear? And simultaneously. Transfer of securities and funds happen simultaneously. Clear? Further, basically this ensures that unless the funds are paid, clear? Basically this ensures that unless the funds are paid, the securities are not delivered. Clear? The securities are, unless the funds are paid, the securities are not delivered, and vice versa. Clear? The securities are not delivered and vice versa. Clear? And vice versa. Clear? The securities are not delivered and vice versa. Clear? That is basically DVP, delivery versus a payment settlement. Clear? Delivery versus a payment settlement. Clear? Now next one, basically we have to discuss some another important points regarding that. Yesterday basically we have discussed regarding the yield and the price of bond. Clear? Basically yield and the price of bond, basically we have already discussed regarding that. Now basically I think we have not discussed regarding the current yield. Clear? Yesterday basically we have discussed regarding the coupon yield. So basically there are two words. First one is the coupon yield. Second one here is to be the current yield. Clear? Current. Clear? Second one here it should be the current yield. Clear? So what is the current yield here? Current yield is equal to the annual coupon rate. What is current yield? Clear? Current yield basically it is equal to the annual coupon rate upon purchase price into 100. Clear? Current yield basically what is that? Annual coupon rate upon purchase price into 100. Clear? Upon purchase price into 100. Clear? So now let's discuss one important point regarding that. So basically the current yield, question here is to be the current yield for a 10-year 8.24% coupon bond. Clear? The current yield of a 10-year 8.24% coupon bond selling at or selling for 103 per 100 par value. Clear? Per 100 par value. So what is the current yield? Clear? So what is the current yield? Clear? What is the current yield? Clear? So first of all, basically we have to calculate the annual coupon interest. Clear? Basically annual coupon rate or interest, that is to be same. How we can calculate? 8.24%. So 8.24 upon 100. Clear? Of what? That is basically we have to calculate with respect to the par value, that is 100. Okay. So by 100. Clear? This we have to remove that. So it comes out to basically 8.24. Clear? It comes out to basically 8.24. So what is the current yield? So what is the current yield here in that case? It is equal to the annual coupon rate, that is 8.24. And selling at basically 103. Clear? Basically they are selling at 103. That is purchase price is equal to 103 upon 103 into 100. Clear? Upon 103 into 100. Clear? 8.24 upon 103 into 100. Clear? I think which comes out to basically 8%. Clear? Which comes out to basically 8%. Clear? So in that case, basically the current yield is to be 8%. Clear? The current yield is basically comes out to be basically 8%. Okay. Now yesterday basically one thing more we have discussed regarding the certificate of deposit. Clear? Yesterday basically we have discussed regarding the certificate of deposit, but we have not discussed regarding the commercial paper. Clear? But we have not discussed regarding the commercial paper. Clear? Now basically we have to discuss some important points regarding the commercial paper. Clear? First of all, it is a secured money market instrument or unsecured. Clear? Even in the basically last time basically they have asked case study type question on that. So first point basically which we have to understand regarding that, basically it is a secured money market instrument or unsecured. Clear? First point, please remember that basically it is a unsecured. It is a unsecured money market instrument. Clear? It is a unsecured money market instrument. Clear? Basically it is an unsecured money market instrument. Clear? Second point, that basically it is issued in which form? Clear? Basically it is issued in dematerialized form. Clear? Basically it is issued in dematerialized form. Clear? Basically it is issued in which form? Basically it is issued in dematerialized form or as a usance promissory note. Clear? Promissory note. Clear? As a sorry, in the form of a promissory note. Clear? Issued in dematerialized form, basically in the form of a promissory note. Clear? So minimum denomination, yes, you are right. Minimum denomination basically it is to be 5 lakh. It is to be rupees 5 lakh and further basically multiple of that. Clear? And further basically multiple of that. And further basically multiple of that. Clear? And very, very important point, which I think last year basically, last time basically they have also asked. Clear? Minimum net worth. Minimum net worth required for corporates. Clear? Basically minimum net worth required for corporates to issue commercial paper. What is the minimum net worth? Is to be rupees 100 crore. Clear? It is to be rupees 100 crore. Clear? So please remember all these things. Clear? Please remember all these things so that you are able to answer the question in the examination. Please remember all these points. Clear? Please remember all these points. Clear? Next one, that is basically FBIL. FBIL. FBIL basically stands for the financial benchmark FBIL basically stands for the Financial Benchmark India Private Limited. Clear? Basically FBIL basically stands for the Financial Benchmark India Private Limited. Clear? Financial Benchmark India Private Limited. Clear? Financial Benchmark India Private Limited, that is FBIL. Clear? FBIL. Clear? And further, FBIL basically promoted by, clear? FBIL basically promoted by fixed income money market. Clear? Basically it is to be promoted by fixed income money market. Clear? Basically FBIL basically it is to be promoted by fixed income money market. Clear? It is to be promoted by fixed income money market. Second one here, that another, or this is to be known as F5 MMDA. Clear? Fixed income money market. Another organization basically, that is FEDAI. Clear? FEDAI, that is Foreign Exchange Dealers Association of India. Clear? Foreign Exchange Dealers Association of India, that is FEDAI. Third one here is to be by the IBA, Indian Banks Association. Clear? Basically Indian Banks Association. Clear? So basically it is to be promoted by, or basically jointly promoted by the fixed income money market, Foreign Exchange Dealers Association of India. Third one is basically IBA, that is Indian Banks Association. Clear? IBA basically stands for the Indian Banks Association. And when it was formed, basically it was incorporated on 9th of December. Clear? It was basically incorporated on 9th of December 2014. Clear? 9th of December basically 2014 under the Companies Act. Clear? Under the Companies Act. Under the Companies Act. Clear? So basically these are some of the important points basically regarding the today's session. Because why I will discuss these points in that way, because we will expect these theoretical based case study type question. Clear? Because we will expect theoretical based basically case study type question on these concepts. Clear? On these things basically we will expect case study type questions. So I request to all of you, please remember all these things. Clear? So I request to all of you, please remember all these things so that you are able to answer the question in the examination. Clear? Please go through all the points and please go through all the MCQs videos and case studies basically provided to you so that you are able to answer the question in the examination. Clear? Please remember the full forms also. Clear? Please remember the full forms also of the Incoterms. Clear? Because sometimes directly they will ask the full form also. Clear? Very rarely, but we will expect question on that also. Clear? But we will expect question on that also. And definitely you will get question basically on these things. Clear? What is advising bank, applicant, beneficiary, confirmation, exporters bank, issuing bank, negotiation, nominated bank. Clear? On any of these basically you will get definitely question in the examination. Clear? So thanks to all of you for joining this session for basic discussion of the BFM.